What I will say though is nobody should be throwing anything in a relationship. But though somebody may throw something at you, it doesn't give you any more validity to throw the same thing back, something lighter back, or something drastically more heavy like a phone back, bottles back. What's good? Welcome back to the live channel. Welcome back to Mizkif being an absolute weirdo. Let's get into it. This video is from Curse. How Mizkif lost everything in 24 hours. Whoa, nice. Let's get into it. My goodness.
Over the past 24 hours, the internet has quite possibly witnessed the worst possible ending to a streamer's career. And no, I am not joking. From Twitter to Twitch to TikTok, the internet is in an absolute uproar, and it all started from what's written right here. Twitch streamer Emiru has accused fellow streamer Mizkif of assault, abuse, stalking, harassment, and threats of blackmail.
Today, guys, that's like literally all of them. That's literally I don't know if he could do more.
I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment.
I saw a lot of this going on Twitter. I genuinely don't know what's happening. All I know is that Mizkif is for sure out of here. He's for sure packed up. Like, so give me grace as I figure out this situation alongside
sexual assault and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
And my goodness, this is insane. And real quick, before we listen to this full thing, I want to make sure that you guys have some background info. For anyone who isn't caught up, this whole situation involves Emiru and Mizkif.
And that haircut, my goodness. Yeah, I would be crashing too if I ever put that on my head. I'ma stop. It's easy to joke on him because I know he's at fault. Let me actually pay attention to what's going on.
Two of Twitch's biggest and most well-known creators. I think Emiru averages like 20,000 viewers a stream, and then Mizkif averages like 17,000 viewers. So yes, they're both very well-known. And even if you aren't an avid user of Twitch, you still may have heard of the name Emiru recently, because just last week, she was involved in another insane situation.
Oh my gosh, this is her? No, do you think that spawned this? Oh, this is the woman that the person had ended up coming up to when the whole security fiasco happened. My goodness.
Where she was assaulted by a fan during a meet and greet at TwitchCon.
Wow,
And what had happened is this person came up to her and they were in another meet and greet line. That's my understanding. And they skipped over the line. The security let them go through. This person then tries to go and grab her, right? He tries to grab her and he tries to kiss her. That's what he tried to do. He does try to kiss her. This is blatantly sexual assault. It's not even a...
What even goes through your head? You're not a regular person. Whenever things like this happen, the first thing that comes to my mind is what was going through that person's head. And then the next thing that goes through my mind is, oh, that wasn't a real person. Like, their head's not all the way there. There's no
question. I don't know how any...
What's the end game from that?
But he could say otherwise.
So yeah, this whole situation was very crazy, and it pretty much went viral on
to go from that to this
on every social media, because Twitch just doesn't protect its creators. But that was a completely different situation that happened last week. The point is that Emiru hasn't had the best month, because now this week she's now addressing her fellow streamer slash ex-boyfriend Mizkif.
The psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him.
Like I said, I don't know what is going on, but she's took this to the cops, right? Like she has to have, because blackmail is blackmail illegal? Yeah, so like, yeah, you're not allowed to do this in any capacity. I hope that she also got the authorities involved, and it's not only the internet. Yeah, somebody like that should not be free.
And not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue
without repercussions,
and just not make it a public thing.
I'm not gonna lie, me and XQC's face is the same, because the information that Emiru shares from here only gets worse, because allegedly, Mizkif used to throw objects at her.
It was definitely slow.
Bro, they had me freaking participating in the game. Oh my gosh, That's crazy. I was watching what was happening to the dude on the screen.
Over time, that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me. He would throw his—
I just feel like if you're in a place where we kind of have to distinguish the type of bottles, we're already at a bad spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have to explain, like, yo, like, yeah, she threw a bottle at me, but it was a plastic bottle. It's still a bottle. Like, that's horrible. That's horrible. Like, no form of bottle is okay to be thrown for sure.
His phone at me. I would tell him,
My
you know,
goodness.
it scared me. I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye. But he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that.
So I'm not really sure how someone can consistently throw their bottle or their phone at someone. The only way I could possibly think of is if he like tossed his phone on the couch and she was sitting on the couch. But even then, it wouldn't be hard enough to give her a black eye. And of course, after hearing Emiru say this, the internet moves in.
An old video has resurfaced showing Mizkif getting angry and throwing objects at his ex Maya Higa, who discussed it on her podcast.
Insanely quick, and they would pull up footage of Mizkif with his other ex-girlfriend and him throwing stuff at her while she was also on stream.
Oh my gosh. Yo, that's a full throw. Oh my gosh, yo, that's a full throw.
Well, nobody asked you to, so.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Look at her face. She's so uninterested.
She said no.
Maya unimpressed. That's what that was.
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you over the past 2 days.
Oh my god.
Skip, that was
Throw
not
it back.
funny.
Throw it
Yeah,
back.
Okay, thank you. I thought nobody was saying that this was weird for a second inside of their chat just now. Holy, because he played the original footage, and then I guess he went back, and then it just showed everybody laughing. And I was like, bro, why are we laughing? That was crazy. But okay, yeah, you saw Cutie face, and who else was that? Valky's face or whatever. They was like, yo, what the? Yeah. That is crazy.
We're live.
What the fuck?
We're live, she says.
Yeah, this right here is an insanely bad look because on one hand, you have your recent ex-girlfriend saying you used to abuse her by throwing objects at her, and then people pull up a clip of you actually throwing stuff at your other ex-girlfriend while she was live on stream. So it's kind of hard to just not believe Emiru at this point. They all knew he was an abuser, but it would hurt their income if they said something. Genuinely, how did all these women watch this happen in front of their faces and not think this was something bigger? It's insane to me that Mizkif wasn't canceled longer ago. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of just watched her have that stuff thrown in her face and were just laughing about it.
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you. I'm not talking.
They were definitely not okay with this. You know, it's a complex situation that I end up seeing people get in because it's really the tale of 2 things. No cap. Or 3 things, really. It's when you're in a relationship with somebody, you have on rose-colored glasses. It means you love them. For the faults that they have, you can't see it because you're in love with that person. So you end up dimming down anything that ends up happening to you and start acting like it's not something as bad as it truly is, right? And because of that, it leads to part 2 where you will have your friends who want to like be like, yo, that was horrible, cut this person off, but also understand that you love that individual. So they tread lighter on a topic. Not even saying they won't tell you about it, but they might not tell you about it as passionately as you need to hear it. Like, cause you're in love with the person, you probably need to hear like, yo, leave that man. He's an effing piece of trash. If you hang out with him, I'm never gonna hang out with you again. Like literally giving them an ultimatum so that they could see how much of a strain this person is on their life. But because of the rose-colored glasses and them loving that person so much, it might cause like your friends to like dumb down the amount that they're trying to like get that message across to you. It's like a crazy thing. I'm not gonna lie. It really happens because you want to be supportive of your friend. Your friend still likes them. Your friend still wants to be with them. But also at the same time, you're like dying on the inside because you're like, dang, I don't want to see my friend go through this. How do I tell them?
Well, nobody asked you to, so.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Look at her face.
Yeah, her face.
That was a laugh. That was crazy. See, I thought that was like at a different laugh. Whoa, yeah, that's not.
Look kind of traumatized. Not sure why we're laughing. But anyway, the terrible treatment
Awkward
didn't
laugh,
stop
maybe?
at like Mizkif throwing bottles and
Not
phones
the
at
right
her
one.
face. It also manifested in him threatening to kill both of them while driving.
After that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. And At the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour. And like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us.
Yeah, bro, I don't play that. I remember this one time, gang. I was in a whip with a shorty who was mad. It was me, it was another dude, and it was like 3 girls in the whip or something. I'm in the front seat, she's in the front seat. She had seen a at a club that she was messing with, and she had seen him messing with another person, and she got in the V, all of our lives on the line, started driving erratically. All of us in the car panicking like, yo, you gotta chill. After that group of people that were in a car, we never hung out together as a group again. Like, not saying that it was the group's fault, but it was more so like she disbanded that. Like, we're never put ourselves in that predicament to where all of our lives are in her hands like that ever again.
This wasn't
That's
like
insane.
even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
The reason I find this part so crazy is because it's not even like the guy is a bum.
Dang, bro, work harder. Like, I don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Double down on some videos, cut some better concept. You know, let's do some active steps instead of, you know, putting lives on the line. I don't think that's too crazy to add. This dude's lunatic. Absolute lunatic. I know he's spoken out. I want to see, I would love, actually I don't want to really hear, but I would really be genuinely interested on what his excuses are for the things that he's done.
Or unknown streamer, the guy averages well over 10,000 live viewers a stream, and he's one of Twitch's biggest and most well-known streamers. So the fact that he's about to crash out over not getting a Mr. Beast collab, or better yet, that someone else got a Mr. Beast collab,
Right.
is crazy to me. Bro doesn't want to see anybody but him.
Especially at that point in your career, it's not like you need a Mr. Beast collab, you know? And it's not that anybody necessarily needs the collab, but it's like, if you don't have it, what does that do to your character? What does that do to your legacy? What does that do to your channel? The answer is nothing. So when you think about that, I wonder what the crash out is really about in his head. Does he feel less than compared to the creators? Because if that's so, he should have been felt less than. There's been plenty of people on Mr. Beast videos who aren't even streamers. It's just an odd train of thought to land you in a place where you end up feeling like hateful to yourself because you weren't on a Mr. Beast video. Because you don't lose nothing by not being on it.
Himself win after he's already won. And funny enough, once again, we can also see evidence of Mizkif other ex, Maya, talking about something similar way before Emiru ever brought this to the internet.
Anyway, there's something about being trapped in a car with an angry aggro man that is like the absolute most helpless thing. Dude,
This set is beautiful.
I did a guy that would go like 100 miles an hour on the, like we would fight in the car, which was never my decision. Like it just always like happened. Like we just would like fight in the car and then he'd go like 100 and I would like literally like beg him to slow down. I'd be so scared and I'd cry and then he would not slow down until I apologized.
Now, she doesn't outright name that she was talking about her ex Mizkif, but I mean, come on now. Some jokes write themselves. And we haven't even gotten to the super serious allegations that Emiru had on Mizkif.
He asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life. I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with, but I let him hold me while I was crying and he started kissing me in my face and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. He tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, and instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
And yeah, that sounds
He picked the time where she's crying to be freaky. Okay, new levels of weirdism reached. I didn't even know it went that high, but it's here.
crazy. But from the way she's describing it, I don't think that there was any malicious intent from Mizkif, because it sounds like at that point they were on and off dating. But
You know what? I would say if you want to debate whether there was ill intention or whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be, whatever, that's dumb. But what I will say that confirms is just the complete lack of awareness that he seems to have over and over again. That's what I'll say that confirms. Because who in their right mind looks at a sobbing woman and thinks like, yeah, this is the time for me to go crazy? Like, you feel me? That is very odd behavior.
But I mean, you shouldn't just stick your hand down people's pants, though.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, Mizkif did make a response, so we can get his side of the.
Man, that boy Scuba Ryan is covering the situation. Yo, that boy Scuba Ryan turned into Channel 5 News, bro. Dang, Scuba's going crazy.
Story.
We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped.
This has nothing to do with anything. First and foremost, I don't think that was the right thing to go to the next stage. I don't think there was no next stages in mind. I think you had a severe lapse in judgment, which goes on to the fact of showing that you have ignorance, like a lot of ignorance, and that makes you make horrible decisions. But why are his eyebrows so egregiously different? This one is genuinely twice as wide as this one, and it was distracting me while he was speaking. Like I said, it had nothing to do with anything. This has nothing to do with anything. But why is this one just massively thicker than this one? Is it the angle? It can't be. It can't be. Okay, back to the video.
And I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general.
Y'all couldn't see it, but somebody in the chat, look. Somebody in the chat was just like, you're cooked.
I got immediately sprung up.
My gosh, bro. Twitch is hilarious.
And was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
Yeah, even if I think Mizkif is a terrible person, it doesn't sound like the hand down the pants interaction was meant to be like evil. It sounds like a gray area because they were on and off dating, they were currently kissing when he tried that, and he may have just overstepped the boundary. However, the other parts of Mizkif's response is where the internet starts to meme him, because he actually blames Emiru for him being violent because she threw plushies at him.
I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me.
This is the one that I've been seeing go crazy because Andate was like, plushies? She's a monster. This is the clip that I've been seeing go the absolute craziest. What I will say though is nobody should be throwing anything in a relationship. But though somebody may throw something at you, it doesn't give you any more validity to throw the same thing back, something lighter back, or something drastically more heavy like a phone back. Bottles back. You get what I'm saying? So regardless, nobody should be throwing things at each other regardless. But even if that was the case, or even if that is the case where she enabled or threw something first, the response is not for you to throw things of equal or greater or lighter magnitude. It's not ever. Whether that's her or him, any side, nobody should be throwing anything at each other in relationships. No cap.
And I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
Is he equating throwing plushies at someone to punching holes in the wall?
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy, bro. He's out of his mind. This is what I'm saying, bro. He's completely out of his mind. He doesn't have reason. He doesn't have a sound judgment system at all. Yeah, she sneezed, so I blew up my She pinched my ears, so I threw a pocket dimension at her. Yeah, bro. Oh my God.
She sneezed, so I blew up my house. She pinched my ear, so I threw a pocket dimension to hell at her.
Imagine your girl trying to tickle you and I open up a domain expansion. Yo, Mizkif's out of his mind, bro.
Yeah, that comparison Mizkif made was insane.
I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations with poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the
So she would throw plushies. I don't even believe that. I don't believe that. I think he just said that because there's no evidence of that. Like, you can show a hole in the wall, you can show a bruise from like a black eye or something like that, but you can't show that a plushie happened, right?
Yeah, I don't believe that she was doing that, but I'm saying if that even was the case, it doesn't mean that he should feel like he should do those actions in return.
That's right, but I think she probably didn't even do that. I mean, I wouldn't even believe that. I think he just said that because that's something that there would be no evidence for.
And in fear of making this video way too long, this is Mizkif's 30-minute response summed up. Denies SA, denies stalking, denies physical abuse, says it was an extremely toxic relationship, talks a lot about Emiru neglecting rabbits. I also think it's safe to say that most of the internet hates Mizkif now.
What did the rabbits have to do with anything?
So it'll be very interesting to see what his career does after this point. Let me know.
Oh no, I'm completely fine with this. I thought he was weird. What? There was something that he did a minute ago. I promise you, for the life of me, I can't remember. But he did something a minute ago, and I was like, oh, that was weird. And then I never, ever paid attention to him again. Granted, I don't watch his content, never have watched his content. And I'm not even saying that to be disrespectful. I genuinely never watched his content. But I was like, oh yeah, I'll just never tap into this guy right here. I don't remember what it was, but something was weird. Was it some black hate stuff? I don't remember it. Oh my gosh. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm talking about a different Caucasian streamer. But yeah. So shout out Mizkif, man. Pack him up. Let's get him on the platform. Okay, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe down below. I'm sorry, Emiru. I hope your life turns out amazing and better, and you can grow from this and stuff like that. All right, goodbye. Peace.